Have you ever truly asked yourself, if life throws you into a moment where you have to protect yourself, will you be ready? I don't mean in some movie-style slow-motion action scene. I mean real life, in a parking lot, on a street corner, at a metro station. Wearing jeans, maybe a hoodie, scrolling through your phone. No warning, no time to think. In that split second, it's not your social media following, your salary, or your fashion sense that matters. It's your mindset, your instincts, your ability to respond. That's what self-defense really is. Not just a fighting skill, but a mental switch. A level of control you either have or you don't. Now let's be honest. A lot of martial arts look cool on screen. Spinning kicks, flashy moves, flying knees. They impress. But are they practical when you're out in public, wearing regular clothes and carrying a bag? Probably not. That's where boxing steps in. Simple, direct, and brutally effective. There's a rawness to boxing that makes it perfect for the real world. You don't need fancy uniforms, high kicks, or 10-step combos. Just your hands, your reflexes, and your will to survive. That's why boxing isn't just a sport. It's survival. It's a way of taking power back in a world that constantly tries to make you feel powerless. And the best part, you don't need an expensive gym or a coach yelling in your ear. You don't need a ring or an audience. All you need is a floor, a mirror, and the will to start. Because, boxing isn't about where you are. It's about who you become. And honestly, the transformation begins the moment you stop waiting for permission and start putting in the work. So, let's talk about the body. A boxer's body isn't just about muscles. It's about resilience, toughness, the ability to take a hit and still move forward. That doesn't come from casual workouts or summer body plans. It comes from training that pushes you to your edge, and then a little further. It starts with explosive strength. You want power in your punches? You need explosive push-ups. Not just for show, but to train your fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones that matter when milliseconds count. When you push yourself off the ground and feel your body lift mid-air, you're not just working out. You're teaching your body how to hit harder, faster, and with intent. Then there are weighted pull-ups, one of the most underrated exercises out there. Strap some weight on and pull yourself against gravity. That's how you build a back that doesn't just look strong, but feels like armor. In boxing, your back is where a lot of your power comes from. A strong back helps you recover your guard faster, absorb shock better, and deliver punches with a base of steel. And if we're talking about the engine room of the body, it's your core. That's where everything connects. Your jab, your cross, your hook. None of them have real force unless your core is stable, strong, and flexible. Hanging leg raises, incline sit-ups, ab wheel rollouts. These are the kind of movements that don't just sculpt your abs, they bulletproof your body. You're not training for Instagram, you're training for impact. Every rotation, every twist, it all flows from a strong core. Legs. Now they're often ignored in boxing, but they shouldn't be. Your footwork, your balance, your ability to move in and out of danger. All of that comes from your legs. Explosive squats build the kind of power you need to pivot, dodge, and counterattack with confidence. Heel running sharpens your calves. And trust me, a boxer's calves are always working. They're the foundation of your movement, your reaction time, your ability to stay light on your feet, but grounded in your stance. And of course, there's jump rope, the king of boxing cardio. It trains coordination, stamina, and rhythm, all in one deceptively simple exercise. But strength alone doesn't win fights. Endurance does. Because real fights aren't decided in the first 10 seconds. They're won in the last round. When your lungs are burning, your arms are shaking, and your mind is screaming for rest. That's where running comes in. It's not glamorous, but it's essential. 3 miles, 3 times a week. That's a start. Then you push. Add distance, add sprints, add terrain. Because when your heart learns to pump harder and faster under pressure, that's when you become dangerous. Not just in the ring, but in life. Now let's talk technique, the actual skill of boxing. It starts with the stance. Orthodox if you're right-handed, southpaw if you're left. Your front hand controls the space, your rear hand delivers the power. And if you're serious, train both. Just like Terence Crawford did, one of the only undefeated champions who can switch stance mid-fight and dominate either way. That's not talent, that's discipline. Your punches, jab, cross, hook, uppercut, each one has a purpose. Jab is your setup, your rangefinder, your teaser. Cross is the hammer, straight, powerful, unforgiving. The hook, that's the knockout artist. It comes from the side, hits the jaw, and shuts down the brain. And then there's the uppercut. Close range, brutal, perfect for when things get messy. But these punches mean nothing without timing, without footwork, without defense. Because here's the truth. Offense might win moments, but defense wins wars. A good guard saves your face. A quick slip saves your chin. A half step back can save your entire future. You learn to block, to parry, to roll with the punch instead of taking it clean. You train your reflexes with slip bags, with mirror drills, with repetition until your body responds before your brain even realizes the threat. Footwork, though, that's the soul of boxing. Knowing where to be, when to be, and how to get there without getting hit. That little shuffle, that pivot, that backstep counter, it's chess at full speed. Shadow boxing helps build that. You visualize an opponent, you anticipate, you react. Alone in your room throwing punches at the air, sweating like hell, that's where champions are made. In silence, in discipline, in belief. And if you really want to learn, watch the greats. Watch how they move, how they breathe, how they wait. Every movement in professional boxing is a lesson. Foot placement, shoulder feints, the way they circle before delivering the final blow. Study that. Learn from it. Then take that knowledge and apply it. Not just in training, but in how you carry yourself every day. Because boxing is bigger than boxing. It's therapy for the restless. It's structure for the chaotic. It's control for the overthinkers. When you hit that heavy bag, you're not just building muscle. You're breaking patterns. You're hitting depression, anxiety, self-doubt, again and again, until they lose power over you. That's what makes boxing spiritual. It's a form of meditation, of healing, of transformation. So if you're thinking of starting, don't wait. You don't need a gym. You don't need an audience. Just put down a mat, stand in front of a mirror, and throw your first punch. Not at someone else, but at your excuses, at your past, at your fear. That's how champions are born. Not in spotlight, but in struggle. Not in applause, but in silence. And it all starts with one decision: to fight for yourself, no matter what.